What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we're my full Chinchou evolution team. Czechosaurus, this one is for you. Chinchou and Lanturn are really cool Pokemon. I've actually really always liked Lanturn a lot ever since I've seen it in Gen 2. Now, in this team, we're going to be using 2 Chinchou and 2 Lanturn because only using 2 of them would be like super duper hard. If you want your own custom theme team or Pokemon sweep, you can check it out at patreon.com/PIMPNITE, tier 2 and above, and the link is in the description. Let's get into today's battles. I got a couple of wild battles here with this super cool Chinchou evolution team, and I really hope you enjoy. Tomorrow I've got a couple of Pokemon sweeps going up as well, just as a little bit of a spoiler. Okay, so we got a battle here. This one was against Evan. This is actually on the, this is a random battle on the Whitecom as well, so Evan, if you ever watch this battle, GG's. Okay, so we've got a Vanillux lead here. I've got my Chinchou. Now, this Chinchou was a very, very risky set. We got Agility, Electro Ball, Hydro Pump, and Zap Cannon, right? We got Max Special Attack and Max Speed, Modest Nature. In this stage, I was really, really worried that I was going to get destroyed, so I just went for Zap Cannon, and Zap Cannon is going to land, and it does some really, really nice damage there. Now, when Zap Cannon lands right, it always paralyzes the opponent, and then the Vanillux got paralyzed afterwards, which was very, very lucky here. So, getting a nice little free turn there. I could go for a Hydro Pump, or I could go for an Electro Ball to take it. I'm thinking, well, since I paralyzed it, I might be able to take out Electro Ball because I'm going to be faster, obviously, and they're already going to be quite slow to the paralyzed, right? So go for Electro Ball, and that is going to take the Vanillux out right at the start of the battle. I was very, very happy about that one. The Chinchou just taking a Pokemon out there was a bonus, right? Next Pokemon to come in is Frostlass. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I'd love to hit this with a Zap Cannon again. Electro Ball's not going to do much. I won't be able to set up Agility, right? Because I'm probably going to get outsped still. So let's go for Zap again. Now, Frostlass is going to be going for a double team. So they're going to try and use that Howl and get that evasion going. It's like, oh, okay, I'm not probably going to be able to land a Zapcan, let alone any moves against this thing. So I thought my best and only bet here would be to land a Zap Cannon. I know it's like a very, very low chance of it happening, you know, with its poor accuracy and, of course, the opponent setting up double teams. But, yeah, that was my only option. So Frostlass is going to go for a Blizzard. Clearly, they didn't have much to hit me with there. And Zap Cannon actually lands. I was, like, really surprised there. And it takes Frostlass in one shot with a crit. So Chinchou taking 2 Pokemon out there at the start of this battle. It is absolutely popping off right now. Taking a little bit of hail damage there, but, man, this is going super well. I was so happy with how Chinchou was going right. So in comes Frostmoth there. I'm thinking, well, Zap Cannon has served me well this whole battle so far. Why not go for it again, right? And then it lands again. So Zap Cannon, you guys, I'm just exposing myself. No guard, Chinchou, hacker exposed. So landing that Zap Cannon there on the Frostmoth. Now, it doesn't get obviously paralyzed due to its ability right there. But it still did a lot of damage. So Frostmoth's going to get a Quiver Dance up, and the hail is going to stop. At this stage, I thought, you know what? Hydro Pump could almost take this out from here. Like, it's going to be very, very close. So I decided to go for the Hydro Pump there, and Hydro Pump, unfortunately, is going to miss this time. I did get very lucky at the start with Zap Cannon, so I guess that was a little bit of karma there. But, man, Chinchou almost took out 3 Pokemon just to itself there. Okay, we got to get rid of this Frostmoth now because it's quite threatening with its big special attack. Going into my Lanturn. Now, this Lanturn was a bulky set. We got T-Wave, Confuse Ray, Aqua Ring, and Charge Beam. Now, the EVs on this one are Max Health, and I've split the defense and special defense basically right down the middle, right? Now, with this set, you need to paralyze the opponent and you need to confuse them. Then, a lot of the time, you'll get a chance to set up Aqua Ring, and then you've got the leftovers as well. So, you've got the Aqua Ring, Recovery, and leftovers, and then you just simply keep like going for Charge Beam to boost your special attack. You can, in some cases, get very unlucky where the opponent gets through the paralysis and the confusion at the same time, and you don't get to really do a lot. But most times, it works fairly well, though. So, we got the Aqua Ring here as my next move after the Confuse Ray, and we got the Frostmoth Confused and Paralysis at the same time. Now, it's going to need a couple of Charge Beams to actually take the Frostmoth out, because if you remember earlier on, it did get a Quiver Dance up, and of course, I'm not running any special attack EVs on the Lanturn at this stage. Now, we got a Bug Buzz here from the Frostmoth. Now, Bug Buzz is doing a lot of damage. It's a 3-hit KO on my Lanturn. Since I'm running a very bulky set, I was able to tank them, you know, just a little bit better than normal, right? I'm guessing this Frostmoth is probably running something like Max Health and Max I'd say max health and max special attack, right? Because my Chinchou is out able to outspeed it afterwards too, which is really, really interesting. So we're going to get that Akka Ring up there, which is going to be a double heal, and the Frostmoth hits itself in confusion, which is really, really good there. So after you get a couple of turns of the opponent doing nothing, the leftovers and Akka Ring recovery is actually quite significant, and you'll find yourself getting back to like a reasonable amount of health, right? It's just those initial hits at the start that can be, kind of dangerous, right? Or you could run a tract on it as well, but then you got to be able to trap the opponent in, right? So maybe you could go for something like Whirlpool. Anyway, so go for another charge beam there on the Frostmoth, getting a special attack boost, which is nice there. And we got the Frostmoth being confused. I was hoping it didn't do anything, and then it hit itself again. So that's really, really good now. I can go for another charge beam and take it out. And Lanturn is almost going to be back to half health. So you see what I sort of meant there. If you get pretty good luck, you normally have about like half health and stuff left there against the opponent. Mostly, unless they're hitting like super duper hard. So go for another charge beam here, and that's going to take the Frostmoth out, which is very, very good there. I'm just still happy how Chinchou took out those first two Pokemon and almost a third one. That's probably the most work you'll see a Chinchou actually put in, right? Okay, we've taken half the team out now because my opponent did bring 6 Pokemon, and I've got 3 left. So at this point in time, it's an even playing field. Now, I noticed in the team preview, right, they actually had a Moveset. They're also running a theme team too. They're running like an ice theme team, which is really cool, right? So I thought, well, they're probably going to use either Giga Drain or Wood Hammer, something like that, right? I was a little bit scared of Wood Hammer, right? So what I thought, if they are running a physical set, let's go for the Confuse Ray. If they do hit themselves to Confusion, it's going to do a lot of damage. And if they go for Wood Hammer, right, they might do some recoil. But if they go for Giga Drain, well, it is what it is, right? So here comes the Wood Hammer, and this is going to really hurt taking my Lanturn out. Now, I need to be able to shut this Abomasnow down, right? Because it's going to be able to tear through my last 2 Pokemon, being another Chinchou and Lanturn, right? So it does take a little bit of recoil. That's probably the only good thing. So we got this Chinchou. This is a Everlight Chinchou. We've got on this one max health and max defense, right? We got a Toxic Whirlpool set. And now this is obviously designed to poison the opponent and trap them in, right? Chinchou's not overly bulky. It's got a decent amount of health for, I guess, for a baby Pokemon, but its defense and special defenses aren't like super amazing. So here comes the Wood Hammer, and I do take that really well. It's a clear 2-hit KO, and the Abomasnow is going to use up a fair bit of its recoil damage on, like, health on recoil damage there. So what I can do, right, is I can go for a rest here, and even like 2 more Wood Hammers, or even 1 more Wood Hammer, and the damage of the poison should be enough to take out the Abomasnow, and we'll be good to go, right? We've got my Lanturn left. If I can beat this Abomasnow with Chinchou, I do have a chance to stay in the game. Now, luckily enough for me, Abomasnow hits itself with Confusion from the Confuse Ray from my Lanturn earlier on, and that is only going to help me out even more there, right? So Abomasnow is on its last turn here. I was hoping Chinchou could get maybe a Whirlpool off it. It doesn't really matter there what I got, I guess, because it's going to go down to the poison. And I'm going to get Sleep Talk Rest. That's never ever happened before. And we got the Abomasnow snappy out of Confusion. And this time, instead of going for Wood Hammer, going for a Bulldoze. So obviously they didn't want to take themselves out with recoil. And they critted me there. I thought that did a little bit too much damage for a Bulldoze. When you look at the, obviously the damage that Wood Hammer did, right? So Chinchou's going to take some more damage from the Hail there. And Abomasnow is going to be going down to the Toxic. So that worked out very, very well there. I'm quite lucky I got that Confusion there, but I think that Chinchou would have been able to beat it, but I probably would have lost it, right? Now, speaking of another threatening Pokemon, we've got Mamoswine coming in with the Earthquake, and that's just going to take Chinchou out straight away. Nothing I could have done there. All I've got left now is my Lanturn. Now, I did think about running Air Balloon on one of these, but in this case, I didn't. So we're going to be running a physical Lanturn. This is a weakness policy set, and it's all designed to be its physical weakness policy set. So we've got Bounce, Waterfall, Wild Charge, and Sucker Punch there. So with the Bounce, we can make ourselves go, super, super fast for a Lanturn, and we can also go for a Max Guys as well. Now, I thought if I can get a weakness policy activation, this will be very, very good, right? It will turn my mediocre attack into something quite decent. Plus, I've got a super effective move to use against Mamoswine as well. Now, I wasn't sure whether Mamoswine would have something weird like a Sash. I was hoping it didn't, because I need to be able to probably nearly even one-shot this Pokemon, right? So go for the Dynamax there on the Lanturn. Once again, we got max speed and max attack. I ran this one as Adam Nature. So, Jolly Nature. So, going for the Max Airstream, they're getting a +1 in speed up. I really need that because it was a fast Pokemon at their, as their last Pokemon, right? I already knew that from the team preview. So, we got an Earthquake coming in here. It does a little bit over half my health, and that is going to activate Weakness Policy, which is very, very good. Now, I can go for a, obviously, we can go for the Max guys there, put the Rain up on the field, and that'll definitely take out the Mammoth one, because I really would like another Max Airstream for the last Pokemon, but I don't think it's going to be enough to take it out at +2. Even with +2, I think it was just going to live. So Mammoth Swine, obviously, knowing that it's going to faint this turn, is going to be going for Ice Shard for a little bit of extra damage there. I'm going to go for a Max guys here, and that'll definitely take out the Mammoth Swine, considering how much damage I did with my earlier attack there. So setting the Rain up on the field now, and we got a crit that obviously was unnecessary, and Mammoth Swine is going to be going down. Now, there's another Pokemon, well, this is actually the last Pokemon, and it's also a very, very threatening Pokemon. It's Dugtrio, right? So another ground Pokemon. So I know that I can take Dugtrio easily out there with the Max guys, right? Does it have a Sash? Is it going to outspeed me? There was a couple of unknowns here, and they haven't Dynamax yet. Now, one thing about Dynamax Dugtrio, it doesn't really get that bulky because its defensive stats aren't really that great anyway. And when it gets a bit of extra health, it doesn't really change it too much. I do like that Dynamax for Dugtrio. It looks like super, super funny. So we've got one big Dugtrio there. Look how big those little moles are. We're going to go for a Max guys here, and I outspeed the Dugtrio thanks to the Jolly Nature and +1 in the speed there. And Dugtrio gets hit super hard, and I'm going to drop it there. That is the first battle, but what a crazy battle that was. I've got to say this. I really got to say this. The Chinchou at the start actually set me up to win that. Like, it took so many Pokemon out. Like, it almost took 3 Pokemon out. Thank you for the battle, Evan, if you ever watched this. GG. Interesting team there. I like the Mono Ice team. All right, this is the battle against Czechosaurus, and he's running on top of the little statue. I like that trainer gun. So, what I was going to do, right, same setup. I was using 4 Pokemon. Now we got a Regidrago lead. I'm like, what is this going to be? Like, what set is this going to be? So, I've got my Chinchou lead this time, and I'm thinking, if I can get... Excuse me, just adjusting my mic there. If I can get as good a luck as I did last time, this would be so good. So Zap Cannon landing straight off the ripper. Once again, they're doing some pretty solid damage considering and getting a paralyzed right. Now, the Regidrago is going to go for a laser focus, which means the next hit is always going to be a crit. Now, the item I was running this, I forgot to say, is a Focus Sash, right? And they're going to get paralyzed. I'm like, okay, that's good. That's going to give me another chance here. So I decided to go for an agility here because that could actually boost my speed, and that would actually power up my Electro Ball against this thing, right? So they're going to get paralyzed, which is very, very good. Now, I'm going to take that advantage to go for yet another agility here. So that's going to give me +4 in speed. So Electro Ball is going to be hitting fairly hard, right? And now they're going to go for an explosion Regidrago laser focus. I get it now. So obviously they look at my Chinchou very intently, and then they go boom on them. So I've got a Focus Sash there, and the normal gem explosion on Regidrago. Very nice there. Quality content only on PIMPNITE channel, people. And I got critted too. The good thing about that is I had a Sash, so that would have taken out Chinchou. Like, that would have taken out all 6 Chinchou if I had them on my team. That family tree would have got dropped. So we got the Litten coming in here, and I'm going to go for a Hydro Pump, and it lands. Like, this is really good. This will definitely take the Litten out, like, super easily, right? Now, Litten is going to have a Focus Sash in itself. I'm like, oh, man, here we go. So, unfortunately, my Chinchou is going to go down, and then they disrespect me with a Scratch Litten, people. We better have a top comment about that Scratch Litten. I'm going to be very, very upset. Only on PIMPNITE channel, people, do you find this top quality Scratch Litten content placed here. So we got the Litten going for another Scratch, and I'm going to go for a Charge Beam here, and I'm going to take out... Why is Litten using Scratch for? And Charge Beam's going to take out Litten. I need a drink after that. My throat's getting dry. My throat's getting scratchy. All right, I'm actually drinking, at the moment, I'm drinking this lime tea thing, and it actually tastes quite good. Anyway, back to the battle here. We got the Hatterene coming here. Now, this is my super thick set here with Charge Beam. I know that's probably going to have Magic Bounce, right? So it's kind of going to get, like, countered. So what I'm going to be doing here, right, is I'm thinking maybe I could set some Charge Beams up. So we got the Gorgees coming in here, and that's going to be able to easily take, even at +6, like +6 special attack, Charge Beam's not going to be doing, like, you know, heaps and heaps of damage, right? Now, expecting the worst here, probably a Grass type move, and I'm thinking maybe I should swap into my other Lanturn with Weakness Policy, right? But I thought, no, I'm going to go and go for the Confused Ray first, and I might be able to get the Paralysis Confused Ray going and get some sort of damage on this thing, right? I was very, very close then to swapping into my other Lanturn. So here comes a Moonblast here. Gorge's throwing the moon at me, so obviously they're trying to drop my special attack. Or maybe they thought that I might have a weakness policy or swap a weakness policy Pokemon in. I'm not really sure. I was expecting a Grass-type move there. So going for a Thunder Wave here, we've got the Confuse Ray and the Thunder Wave working at the same time, which is going to be handy. But still, I can't do really, very much damage here at all. Now, Gorge's is going to be confused, and then now it's going to go for a C-Bomb there. It's like, this is going to hurt. So C-Bomb doing some pretty good damage to me. I can probably live like 2 more of them, depending on how often the opponent gets paralyzed, right? If I'm able to live for a couple more turns without getting hit, I might be able to live like 3 more. So go for another Charge Beam here, trying to get as much damage on this dang thing as possible. I do have my other Lanturn there as backup with Bounce. That's probably about it. And that's going to be the only attack I can really do to it that's going to do some form of damage, right? So here comes another C-Bomb from the Gorge's here on my Lanturn, and that's going to do a lot of damage. Lanturn is going to be going down in 1 more hit here. I really would love like a Charge Beam crit here, like at +6 Charge Beam crit, it might do like, half of itself. So go for another Charge Beam here on the Gorge's. I've nearly taken half of its health away there. That's another crit there too, but it did like nothing. I think that's like 2 crits in a row. Getting another special attack rise there, which is going to be very, very handy, right? Now, Gorge's is going to go for a 3rd C-Bomb, and that's my Lanturn down, unfortunately. I think the next Charge Beam would have put it on about half health. So bye-bye Lanturn. That was my really bulky set. Next, we're going to swap in my own Lanturn because my other little Chinchou won't be able to do much to it. It can really only do, if the opponent's poisoned, it's going to work, but not really when they're paralyzed, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce high in the air, hoping my opponent can get paralyzed, and they snap out of confusion and use Shadow Ball. So, okay, it didn't really matter there because, nothing was going to hit me regardless, right? So go for the bounce there, and bounce does very, very underwhelming damage there, obviously. However, I get very lucky because the Gorge's is going to get paralyzed, right? At this stage, I was like, you know what? Let's go for a Sucker Punch here, and Sucker Punch is going to take out the Gorge's there. Also, Sucker Punch is a 4th gen tutor move too, if you are wondering. I'm sure there'll be someone wondering about that. It's not a move you'd probably see running on Lanturn very often. So we got the Milotic coming in here. Now, Milotic is a very problematic Pokemon if you're not running a very, very powerful electric type move. Now, I did have Wild Charge on my Lanturn, but there was a very, very big drawback to that. I would expend a lot of my health there with Wild Charge, or I have to Dynamax, right? So I thought, let's go into my Chinchou here, right? Man, I need another drink. I'm sorry. My throat's getting like super, super dry. Okay. So we got the Milotic here. This was a Aquatail set. So it was like a Coil Aquatail set. So I'm thinking on physical Milotic, right? I've run physical Milotic, numerous times. So I'm thinking sort of what other moves it would have to run with Coil. Usually with Coil, you want to run, it's nice to run moves that don't have very good accuracy, right? But have decent base power. So you got stuff like Iron Tail, Dragon Tail, those sort of things, right? So I thought this would probably be running some of the Aquatail and Dragon Tail, right? And something like Coil or, obviously Coil and Recover. I think I've run a set like that before. Anyway, back to the battle here. We got the Poison on the Milotic, which is going to be very, very important there. And we got the Aquatails going. So obviously, since I'm running a defensive Chinchou, it's not really doing too much. And of course, it's not very effective either. So Milotic is going to need a lot more coils to do any sort of form of significant damage to me, right? Plus, I'm going to have them trapped in with the Whirlpool and the Toxic too. Now, the Milotic might be able to heal off or something like that, but eventually, Chinchou is going to be able to win this battle. Plus, I've got Rest too. Unless the Milotic does crit me here, I pretty much got this one in the bag, right? So here comes another Aquatail from the Milotic. It is doing reasonable damage to me considering I'm running a bulky defense there, and we're going to go for Rest here. I didn't want to risk a critical hit, right? Because if I lose my Chinchou right now, I'm going to have to resort to going for Dynamax on my Lanturn, and I don't know if I want to do that just yet, right? Now, there is one other Pokemon that hasn't been revealed yet, and it is quite a scary Pokemon too, right? To my team. So Milotic is below half health now with the Whirlpool and the Toxic combination there. It doesn't have a long left in this world, right? So we got Milotic go for another Aquatail here, and Aquatail is not going to do too much. At the moment, I'm going to have a look. It's about a 5-hit KO against Chinchou, so a lot more coils are needed, right? So it's probably better just going for a crit here, which obviously is what they're doing, right? So we're going to get a Sleep Talk, and we're going to get Rest again. That's never ever happened before, people. So Milotic is going to have that leftovers there, which, I mean, if this Milotic didn't have leftovers, I think it would have actually gone down like another turn earlier, right? So last turn here for the Milotic, and it's going to get hit by the Whirlpool, and bye-bye Milotic. So finally, Milotic's going to go down. We got around that. Now, we've got Hatterene left and one other Pokemon, and we're going to have the Hatterene coming out here. So Hatterene is going to be a problem Pokemon. At this stage, I thought, I can't really do much this. All I can do is Whirlpool, so that's not going to be much at all. So what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to be going into my Lanturn. Now, Lanturn is the physical set that we've seen. Unfortunately, it's going to be going for a Psychic here. I'm like, oh, Psychic's going to, like, hurt a lot. And it almost takes me out there with Life Orb Psychic. I'm like, crap. I am forced to Dynamax right here just to try and do some damage to it, right? So I was thinking here, if I'm going to try and help out my Chinchou, I'm going to need as much damage as possible, right? So it might be a better idea for me to go for a Water-type move, right? My Waterfall there, and then, or Liquidation, and then I can go for a Whirlpool or my Chinchou if things go really, really bad, right? At least that'll be powered up. So I thought, and then I changed my mind right at the last moment, right? I was like, you know what? I'll go for Max Darkness instead, right? Because Max Darkness is going to drop the special defense of the Hatterene. So I decided to go for that instead of the Whirlpool. Thinking about the Chinchou's Whirlpool, right? Not that I was going to really hit that hard. So Lanturn is going to be going down here. Unfortunately, goodbye. I kind of regret actually swapping in there, but once again, I didn't really know what Hatterene was going to do, right? And I didn't know it was going to be like a Life Orb special attacker. Next Pokemon is my Chinchou, and Chinchou is asleep, which is not very good. So I was hoping here I could get a Sleep Talk and get a Whirlpool up. That'll be very, very handy right there, straight off the bat there. And I'm going to get Toxic instead. So we can see that it's got Magic Bounce. However, I am asleep, so that Toxic is obviously not going to get bounced back to me because you can't be sleeping and poisoned at the same time. I mean, it could happen to me, of all people, but it doesn't happen right. So Chinchou is just going to live there on 8 health, and I'm able to get another rest off here. Now, the only damage that's actually occurring to the Hatterene at the moment is the Life Orb damage. So I figured here, since I've got -1 in special defense, right, I might be able to get a crit with Whirlpool, right? Because it's still a 2-hit KO against my Chinchou, right? If I can get a crit with Whirlpool at this stage and then the Life Orb damage, it's a crit with Whirlpool, I might be able to actually take this out, and it will be very, very close, right? So go for the Sleep Talk here, hoping I can get the Whirlpool, and I get the Whirlpool, which is amazing, and it's going to land too. Unfortunately for me, it's not going to be a crit. I don't know if it even would have taken out there, and Hatterene is going to take me out the Psychic, and that is the game. Unfortunately, I couldn't take out the Hatterene. It was way too bulky. The last Pokemon was the Rhyperior as well, so that was another problem Pokemon. I felt like I might have been able to take that out with my Lanturn. Anyway, thank you for the battle. Hope you people enjoy this one. I'll catch you next time. Peace.